I think it's great to have our people not infiltrate, but go in with the true message into 912. I think Oath Keepers are just fabulous as long as they keep their code of not going along with martial law, police state, and the 10 points that they swear that they're going to uphold. So very, very complex issue here, but I'm glad that our audience has embraced Stewart Rhodes and Oath Keepers from its embryonic phase. I'm very honored to see Oath Keepers from its maiden voyage expand out into what it is today. There is an extra, 20-minute extra in Fall of the Republic that is the Oath Keepers. They're also going to be in Fall of the Republic, too. But the extra in Fall of the Republic is we went to Lexington Green, interviewed Stewart and many others. It's very, very powerful. Let's now go to Stewart Rhodes. Stewart, good to have you here with us today.
Thank you, sir. Honored to be here again. Appreciate it. If I could touch on the 912 thing real quickly. Whatever the involvement of Beck was, I talked to the national coordinator for 912, and in fact, her name is Ida Davis, and Patrick Jenkins, founder of 912, is going to be at our convention this next weekend in Las Vegas, October 24th and 25th is the first Oath Keeper convention. But I got a good sense from talking to her that it really is grassroots driven, and it's not about, GOP party hacks or any of that kind of nonsense. It's about being nonpartisan, and in fact, she said that she's going to encourage folks to run independents in local races to break the lock of the two-party system. And what counts is whether you're a constitutionalist, not whether you have an R or Democrat or D behind your name.
Well, listen, I want to be clear. I hope you go on Glenn Beck. I hope Glenn Beck, like Saul of Tarsus, gets knocked off his horse and wakes up and becomes a good guy. He just won't be on air very long, at least the level he is. I just know he's an operative, and I know he's there to get everybody's confidence and betray everyone because he's proven it. And I've listened to him and watched him with great detail. Overall, I think some of what he's doing is positive, but he's only doing that so he can double back later. So I don't want to just, get into this here and say, how dare the 912 Project get involved. This is good. This is the true patriots. Beck tried to take over what we started. Now we're going back and taking over what is rightfully ours, the Tea Parties, 912, everything else. And I think, on the surface, we should be friendly towards Beck. And I didn't even mean to get off into that. You just told me off air that it looks like you guys are going to be part of the next big 912 event. And so I think that's very, very important.
Right. Well, what they approached me about was that they want to do a big summit of all the different liberty leaders to come together and all the different organizations. And they're targeting April for that, April 15th or 19th. But I just talked to her again and encouraged her to think about doing one a lot sooner because we're running out of time. And so I propose that we do one on December 15th and 16th, which is Bill of Rights Day and the anniversary of the Boston Tea Party. Hold a symposium of national liberty leaders, everybody. Doesn't make a difference who they are. Just come together and talk and then plan. Not just come together to protest, but get together to plan and coordinate. It's high time we do that. And I know other folks have tried to do that. Bob Schultz of We the People is having his Continental Congress. But the more we get together like this, the better. So I encourage any liberty organization leaders and also you to come cover it.
Yeah. Well, I was invited to that. I didn't go because I was too busy working on the film. And I think it's a fine idea. It's just having only a select coterie of leaders together. I don't think is the way I would go. To have a huge throng of different people together, as long as, but see, 912 setting it up, they're going to direct it, I guess.
No, she's open to having my input. So it's going to be, it's not going to be just, you have to be a certain elite. It's everyone from across the country, all different grassroots.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I hope that the big event is directed by all the groups that are there, and not just the 912 Project.
No, it won't be. It's not about 912. It's about getting. That's the whole point. Is to get everyone together. I mean, call it an Oath Keeper Summit. I mean, it's about our oath to the Constitution, and it's about getting together and working to defend.
Hey, regardless, we need to get together, and I absolutely agree with you. That's exciting. Let's shift gears now into all the attack pieces. There's so many, I don't even read them all now when I see the headlines. But I notice you and I are being attacked together. You'll have like a 5, 10, some cases, ADL, 15-page report, Southern Poverty Law Center, George Soros groups, and they always put you and I together And
well, they think associating with you smears me, and vice versa. I guess they think that's some kind of a plus, but it works in our favor, I think.
Sure, but they're also trying to imply that we're calling for revolution and violence. Right. Meanwhile, they've got their operatives out trying to stir up violence. Right. They're kind of in a 1990s model. I don't see this working today. I think people are looking right through them.
Well, and also the message of Oath Keepers is that you do not have to violate the Constitution to save it. And this is what's different between us and other countries like Nazi Germany, where the oath was to the Führer. The only chance of ever saving Germany would be to rebel against their oath and violate their own oath and kill Hitler. In our country, the oath is to the Constitution, and so that's why our message to police and military is only to refuse the unlawful orders and to stand down. It can't be done without them. And we even get criticism from folks who are like, well, I want to know what you're going to do, not just what you won't do, and they're missing the whole point. If the police and military don't do anything, then we win. But how can they do it without them? They'd have to bring in foreign troops.
Well, sure. I mean, to boil it down, somebody's got to say it's wrong to train to confiscate guns. It's wrong to build FEMA camps. That's all admitted now. It's wrong to put military on the streets of America for regular police actions and not just emergencies. All of this is clearly authoritarian, un-American. History shows it's bad. We know the federal government's been hijacked by foreign banks. And just shake our heads, kind of wake ourselves up, put our heads in a bucket of ice water, and go, wait a minute. Foreign offshore banks run by people like Ken Lay and Madoff have come in, taken over, and are engaged in crime. And now the criminals are trying to direct the military and police to break their oaths to protect the corrupt elite. No, just follow the Constitution. Start saying no. But the establishment, by increments, trains police and military to violate the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, a little bit by a little bit, but before they know it, they've been completely twisted.
Right. Then they're standing on the streets and dispersing peaceful protesters and using sound cannons on them. So that's the whole point of our message, is to counteract that and to teach them about the Constitution and get them back to square one of being defenders of the Republic.
But there's that powerful peer pressure mode. I mean, I would imagine of the thousands of police and military batoning women running for no reason, having police dogs bite old women. I mean, there's video of this, driving through empty neighborhoods, sound cannoning a kid if they walked out their front door with a football. I mean, just you're not allowed on the streets of Pittsburgh or Oakland, Pennsylvania. When we come back, I want to talk about that because I'm sure some of those troops and police were good people, but in that mass psychology of war and with all the psychological brainwashing they've gone through, the hypnotic suggestions of their training, when the time came, I mean, they were looking for blood. They wanted the blood of the American people. We'll talk about that with Stewart Rhodes, the founder of Oath Keepers, straight ahead.
This is Alex Jones. Have you heard of the Millionaire Patriot? Well, you should. He has a free handgun and 5 days of firearms training waiting for you. That's right. You can attend 5 days of world-class gun training at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute and secure a 30-state concealed weapons permit, all for pennies on the dollar. Plus, if you act fast, the Millionaire Patriot will give you a free Springfield Armory XD pistol in the caliber of your choice. I believe now is the time that you and your family need to be armed and trained to levels that exceed law enforcement and military standards. Front Sight provides such training without any boot camp mentality or drill instructor attitudes. This is real. Don't miss out. Secure a Front Sight defensive handgun course, plus a 30-state concealed weapons permit for pennies on the dollar, and get your free handgun. Go to frontsight.com today. That's FRONTSIGHT.com. Go to frontsight.com for your training and free gun.
Stewart Rhodes is our guest. Stewart-Rhodes.blogspot.com. You can also go to the Oath Keepers website, oathkeepers.org. We'll tell you about the big Las Vegas event, their first annual meeting. You want to be there. Stewart's a founder and director of Oath Keepers. He served as a U.S. Army paratrooper until he disabled in a rough terrain parachuting accident during a night jump. He is a former firearms instructor and former member Representative Ron Paul's D.C. staff. Stewart currently writes the monthly Enemy at the Gates column for SWAT magazine. So they're reaching out to those people. Stewart graduated from Yale Law School, where his paper, Solving the Puzzle of Enemy Combatant Status, won Yale's Miller Prize for Best Paper on the Bill of Rights. He assisted teaching U.S. military history at Yale, was a Yale research scholar, and is writing a book on the dangers of applying the laws of war to the American people. And he's a great leader, and we're honored to have men of his caliber fighting the globalist takeover. And he's another testament to taking action. Oath Keeper's been around how long? And it's everywhere now. It's exploding.
First official meeting on the Green in Lexington this year, April 19th, 2009.
So it's less than a year old.
Oh yeah. We're in our baby infancy stage, but it's growing like wildfire. We have directors now in about half the states, and our goal is to have strong Oath Keeper chapters in every county. Because we take the country from the county up. That's the
Well, Stewart, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm not telling you to get into politics because what you're doing is more important than the grassroots right now.